You hear the pins, you hear the nails drop. Those end up locking the lid to get it open. A little centrifugal force, and away you go. Merry Christmas. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so for this video, we're gonna make a trick box for my grandsons for Christmas. I've got various pieces of lumber I'm going to use. This is a little trick opening box I learned from Drew Fisher from Fisher's Shop, so be sure and check his out. So I've got some oak. This will be the two sides. I've got some walnut. This will be the locking part of the box. And then I've got a couple other pieces of oak, and then I'm doing a glue up of cherry for the top, since it has to be 1 inch thick with a 1/2 inch cut out little dado around the edges. So with that, we're going to get the glue up going, and then we'll show you the cuts we're going to make. So I'm cutting the top to size. I've glued up a couple pieces of cherry. Now this is the walnut for the locking mechanism, and this is part of the sides. It's made out of oak. So I've got 3 different woods so far. So here I'm taking the oak sides and making sure they're the same sides. That's helpful when making a box. And again, this is the cherry. I'm cutting the top to final dimensions. Okay, I've cut my groove here in this board for the nail or the locking mechanism. So the trick now is to be able to cut this about a 1/2 inch so you have enough behind it so you can turn them over and glue them together. So now what we're going to do is turn it over and make it like that, so we have a track for our nail to run through. So we'll glue up these and get ready for assembly. So now I have this nail, and I'm just going to take this nail and cut off this top here and trim that in, and we'll have it proper length. It's hot, don't want to touch it. I know there's cost for sanding these nails or these cut off nails to get any of the film that's left on this. But sandpaper do that? Nah, I got a better way. I'm going to put my nail in my drill bit, and then we're going to squeeze it and sand it this way. Makes a lot faster, a lot more fun. So to assemble my box, I have to have a 1/2 inch by 1/4 inch on the top to where the top will sit down. So now I have to got each of these pieces marked. So now I'll get to work on cutting those. So I use a stop block on my sled, get my piece down, and I cut multiple slices with my table saw to create my rabbit. That's perfect. That's right on a 1/2 inch. And then we assume that that's a 1/4 inch, as that's the depth we set it. Now we can cut the others. Okay, so I have my rabbits cut on the top edges. So the next thing, so this will fit flush up against this, we have to cut this section out right here. So I've marked where this rabbit will go up on here and on this end over here. Now that will take care of that. And then because I'm using a little thinner piece, I'm going to have to get my piece measured to determine what the rabbit depth is for that cut. Since I don't have a thickness planer, I'm just going to plane this top flat, smooth. I got my pieces all cut out. So the thing that's different about my box is I'm using different woods for each one of the sections. For the locking mechanism, I'm using walnut. The sides and the ends are made out of oak. The top is made out of cherry. And the bottom is made out of Brazilian flooring. Since each section is a different width, to cut the dado in the bottom, I need to get my caliper out to measure the thickness of this, so I cut the dado at the precise distance. I have the box ready for glue up. I have all the bevels on the bottom. I have the bottom facing up and all the bevels on the top. So with that, I'm gonna make sure I get this glued up and square before I cut the bottom piece to size. And then the top piece will be cut as well. And so what I'm going to do with the top is make it out of one piece, where Drew made his out of two pieces glued together. I wanted mine to have all the same wood, so I'll do the rabbet after I have this thing cut to size. Try our new cut top, see if it fits. Hey, look at that. See if it fits the other side as well. Yeah. So we have this where we're going to cut. So between here is going to be our middle piece. Pretending this is the inside, when this thing comes in from there and there, you can see this middle piece here will in fact have these on the inside preventing it from opening. And when it slides to the outside, like there, it'll be open enough, and you'll have a kerf width in here, so it's a slide. So even if the box is tilted to one side, the nail will slide in this way, preventing this piece from being lifted. Other side, because I had a couple different length nails, and so about that nail's a little bit longer, we'll cut the other piece a little bit different. So each side will be touched different because we had different length nails. So over here is what I've glued in, and this cardboard is just has a little bit of pressure out towards the sides to keep this piece flush against here. It's actually glued to the lid, which is right here. So we'll let it dry and see if it worked. Ryder, Merry Christmas. Here's your Christmas gift. I'm gonna put it in this box for you. All you have to do to get it is open it.